Welcome into the CoreyKnott.com podcast, where I talk about everything nerd. Movies, games, comic books, anything you can think of. It's right there, CoreyKnott.com. Normally, I produce a show on 101.5 KFI. Go to KFIFM.com, DonkShow.com more precisely. If you want to see The Donkey Show, hosted by Drew and Marcus, guys I've worked with for 5 years. I've watched Drew's career over the last 10 years. The guy is awesome. Marcus is awesome. Kirk, the camera guy, awesome person as well. I'm using the term awesome way too much. Give me the opportunity, my PD, to host a show called Rockin' On KFly, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Sundays that you've got to check out. You can catch me on various social media. Just search for Corey Knott or look at Rockin' On on Twitter and Facebook. What we're getting into today is the last movie I saw in theaters, which was Kingsmen, The Secret Service, and the last movie I saw at home, which was Exodus, Gods and Kings, and I will get into Nintendo. What Nintendo is up to. They announced some great things about mobile gaming, but they also made an announcement about something they have in development, which you'll want to hear about. Of course, I've got cartoons on the brain. Netflix and Disney have both announced something from the past is coming back. And I'm not going to show you the pictures right now, and you've probably seen it, but let me at least give a tease. They're two awesome shows that if you're in your 30s, you watched as a child. We're getting to DC as well, and Marvel, and the things that I'm excited about with them. I'll talk a little bit about Star Wars. I don't have a graphic up about that because at the last second I'm like, I'm a super nerd. I cannot not talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens. But let's get into Kingsman, The Secret Service, directed by Matthew Vaughn. If you don't know his work, watch Kick-Ass and watch X-Men First Class. Two awesome films. Now, Kingsman, The Secret Service stars Colin Firth and Taron Egerton. I don't know the dude's name. It doesn't really matter. The film is just a non-stop action movie. It's a spy film, unlike any spy films. Kind of harkens back, to the 70s Bond films. But, geez, the action is just unspeakably fantastic and smooth. And just it's so colorful. It's like watching a cartoon, but it's a live-action film. And Samuel Jackson is a great bad guy. I don't necessarily like him in this film, but there's a church action sequence that some of you may be up in arms about. I know a lot of people were if you're extremely religious, but that action sequence in and of itself is worth watching this movie for. The film is off the hook exciting. Just check it out, Kingsman Secret Service. I've got a trailer up on CoreyKnott.com. Just check out this movie. Now, the last movie I saw at home was Exodus, Gods and Kings. Ridley Scott has been crapping out terrible movies one after the other. He has a movie, I believe, called The Martian coming out in 2015 or 16 that hopefully will save his directorial career because Exodus, Gods and Kings is such an awful movie, and it stars Christian Bale. But the film, beautiful. I'll give him that. Ridley Scott knows how to make a beautiful movie. But Exodus, Gods and Kings was badly written, badly directed. The casting was awful. You got a movie about Egypt. Maybe you should cast at least more than one Egyptian. For God's sakes, I'm not going to stand on the PC platform, but dude, this isn't the 60s, this isn't the 50s, this isn't the 40s, this is 2015. Cast appropriately, write a good film, you have no excuse. Come on, you made freaking Gladiator. Ridley, come on, man. Dear God, this film is so awful. Let's get into Nintendo, because you're not going to save a crappy movie from itself. Nintendo has launched some pretty cool things in its time. Nintendo 64 was an awesome system. The Wii was an awesome system. And it seems like Microsoft, they kind of skip from generation to generation, from crap to something good. And the Wii was a breakthrough for its time. It had the awesome controller. It found a niche with that. those gamers that didn't want to get into hardcore gaming, that didn't want to, to mash buttons in fighting games or fight with a 12-year-old online with a first-person shooter, which I try to do. But, I stay away from first-person shooters, at least in online mode, because I'm not going to fight with the 12-year-old. But I digress. I'm getting away from the point. Nintendo has announced not only are they getting into mobile gaming, but they have a new project codenamed NX, which is their next generation system. They'll be announcing some details next year. But I am hoping that Nintendo can save itself from itself with its new system. I remember my first Nintendo, opening it on Christmas with my brother and playing it for hours. My parents had to stop me from just sneaking out into the living room and playing it because it was so exciting. It was such a game changer for me as a child. I know the Atari came before it and, ColecoVision and all that stuff. But for me, Nintendo was a game changer in my childhood and really turned me into the nerd I am, the out of shape, my back's hurting just from trying to sit up straight nerd. But I'm hoping that Nintendo can do something with their new system. But let's get into Inspector Gadget. Your cartoons from the past are coming back. If you're a 30-year-old like me, well, I'm almost 35. Don't need to remind myself. And Netflix has announced and launched a trailer for its new series, relaunch series of Inspector Gadget, which is coming out the 27th. And I'm pretty excited. And I know a lot of people wish that Netflix and Disney, who has announced their new version of DuckTales, would do something original, would think of an original idea. When you think about it, creatively, people are borrowing from Shakespeare, people are borrowing from the freaking Odyssey. Homer's Odyssey, for goodness sakes. For countless hundreds of years. There's something about having some normalcy and something related to your childhood that you can share with your kids. And I support redoing something. Not as much as Spider-Man. I'm glad that Marvel has Spider-Man back in the fold. But there's been so many Spider-Men in the last couple of years, and in terms of comics, that it is a bit watered down. But I'm hoping for more for Spider-Man. But I digress. Getting back into DuckTales and Inspector Gadget. How exciting is that? And Netflix, they've really hit it off with their original series, Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, and all the countless other things they have. And they're getting into cartoons, and they're going hardcore with DreamWorks. With they had the lemur from Madagascar, and I completely forgot the name of the series. But they are such originators of content, and Disney, with the acquisition of Marvel, the acquisition of Lucasfilms, they are hitting things out of the park. Frozen was a $1 billion movie. They are doing everything right. And to think they won't do things right by DuckTales would be insane. But let's move on from that. They have such a huge slate that's planned out for a numerous amount of years. But namely, Age of Ultron, which is coming out soon in May. And you've got Civil War, Captain America Civil War. What an exciting slate of films. What excitement is built up to films that are years away in the Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2. They have built such a huge platform, such a huge following, such an expectation of quality that for DC and Batman vs. Superman, I am scared for them. And I'm a huge DC fan. The two biggest superheroes in terms of properties out there are Batman and Superman. And they've got a lot to live up to. Ben Affleck has a lot to live up to, but people forget that man is an Academy Award winner. Gone Girl was an awesome movie. If you have not seen Gone Girl, you're doing yourself a disservice. See that movie. It is simply amazing. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait. And to get into one last thing, I wouldn't be a nerd if I didn't talk about it. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This movie needs to come out already. December can't come any sooner for me as a super nerd. Just the excitement around it. I saw Harrison Ford crash his plane the other day, and being the dick of a nerd I am, I didn't think about his health. I'm like, what are they going to do? How are they going to rewrite episodes 8 and 9? Thinking, me, being the positive person, thinking he lives, after episode 7. I'm just an insensitive prick of a nerd. But how would they rewrite it? I can't wait to see the next Fast and the Furious, just to see how that studio wrote Paul Walker out and did it in a respectful way, because he died. What was it, like halfway through? I can't understand how they can cut that together, and that's I guess the amazing part of Hollywood, and how horrible it is for the cast to come back to that. And I was thinking after this crash with Harrison Ford, like, how would they rewrite such a huge character and just write Han Solo out of these films? I just couldn't think. And this is me getting far too nerdy of how they could do that. I know Disney would, and I know Lucasfilms would, and I have a real faith in what they could do. But I was worried there for a moment, and I just can't wait for this film to go out. .com, because I'm talking way too long, and see all the links that I've posted, see all the trailers, reviews, everything there. That's CoreyKnott.com, and I will see you all later. Catch me on the Donkey Show for Monday through Friday. Catch me on Rockin' Awe on Sundays, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. I will see you all later.